Let's build a patio in my backyard. To give a little context, last month I built an automatic driveway gate with the help of Atwoods, and this gave me the ability to open up a lot of space in my backyard by tearing out this old little fence that barely worked and was previously my only backyard gate. When I bought my house last May, there was no space outdoors to entertain, and I knew that this area right here, once I had a driveway gate, would be the perfect place for a big patio. So once we got that old fence out, we pulled up the pavers that were originally there and moved them to the other side of the driveway to be a little platform for the trash cans, and then it was time to dig everything out 7 inches so that we could create a gravel base for the pavers to sit on. After this prep work, it was time to head back to Atwoods and pick out the pavers we were going to use, and we ended up deciding on the 16-inch by 16-inch gray concrete pavers. And we had to go to a couple Atwoods because we needed 150 of them. And in the meantime, it was back to digging out the pit, and we finally reached the point that the dirt could be hauled away. And then we were just left with this 20-foot by 16-foot pit that we were able to level at a 7-inch depth. And lucky us, it promptly rained for 2 straight days. But once it finally dried up, the gravel and the sand were delivered so that we could create a base for the pavers to sit on. And I was so excited because I thought I was going to have access to a bobcat for this part, but it would not start. But this project wasn't going to finish itself, so we just had to keep going. Next up, I laid down a thick landscape fabric to keep the weeds from growing through, and then I moved half of the gravel into the pit so that we could compact down the first half before adding the second. Unfortunately, in order to do this, I did have to move all of the sand to the back of the driveway because it was placed behind the gravel and was blocking access to the pit. Once the first layer of gravel was in, we were able to compact it down, and then a miracle happened, and we had access to a skid steer to get the rest of the prep work done really quick. So we scooped up the rest of the gravel and moved it back into the pit, spread it out, and then we were able to compact all of that down before adding the sand on top. Once we got the sand in, we evened it all out and then went back over it with the compactor, which shakes the ground and gets the sand down in the grooves of the gravel to create one really strong base. From there, we used a 2x4, a level, and a tamper to verify that everything is level, and we are officially done with the prep work, and it is time to lay the pavers. So y'all are just gonna have to come back and see how it turns out.